only on Fox 5 at 9.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Emily Scarlett. Governor Steve Bullock fighting for pay equality today, with the state of Montana ranking 39th for pay equity in the entire country. Last month, the University of Great Falls received a grant worth over $1 million. And for students enrolling in classes next semester, this is definitely good news. And if convicted, Senator Ogier could face up to 15 months in prison and pay up to $2,000 in fines. Last year, Lawrence Allen Stewart led police on a high-speed chase, tossing pipe bombs at pursuing officers. Today, that courageous group of men were honored for their heroism. The National Transportation Safety Board is still investigating the causes of the Asiana Airlines Flight 214 crash at San Francisco International Airport earlier this month. But a new inquiry has both Asiana Airlines and Boeing in possible legal trouble. A lawsuit in the works on behalf of more than 80 passengers aboard Asiana Airlines Flight 214. Montana students prepared to transform into world-class business leaders at today's Blackstone Conference. And as Fox Montana's Joe Moeller reports, Montana is now the 5th state to join the Blackstone Charitable Foundation's Campus Entrepreneurship Program. Now for more statistics. While Americans are living longer than they did 20 years ago, illness and chronic disability are still holding our numbers behind many other countries. Meanwhile, Japan tops the list at 82.6 years. And Ted, a doctor with the Cleveland Clinic, says we hold the power to increase our lifespans. Japan, sitting at the top, has lower smoking rates and lower heart disease rates. So we can choose to live healthier and perhaps get that life expectancy number up. That looks like a lot of fun. There's just so much going on this week.
Exactly.
There's no reason you should be bored this week, right?
Agreed. Yeah. Whether it's here or in Helena, you got something to do.
Absolutely right. Dan Court's up next for sports. Dan, the Voyagers still in catch-up mode at this time.
Indeed.
The news rocking the MLB. He's the first player to be suspended in the wake of baseball's biogenesis investigation. The MLB release, however, did not mention the probe as reason for his suspension, but Milwaukee Brewers outfielder Ryan Braun has been suspended for the remainder of the 2013 season. Dan, you're the big sports guy. Tell me what you make of this story.
What I make of this story, former Helena Brewer Ryan Braun, by the way. I just can't help to say that with that appeal won, was he really innocent the entire time? This says a lot of things. He put a lot of people in a bad spot, blaming it on a mishap with the handling of his first sample that ended up winning his appeal, and he now looks real bad.
My thoughts exactly. I don't know much about the story, but it seems like this is sort of an ongoing pattern for him.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see how things work out. Dan Courts joining me now for sports. Dan, the Voyagers still trying to catch up in the Pioneer League standings.
Absolutely.
He's an international, 6-time Grammy-elected artist whose career began in Australia. Now he performs all over the U.S. and Canada. We're so honored to be joined by him live in the studio, Australian blues artist Michael Charles. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're here all the way from Chicago. I know you're working on your 2013 Undercover Tour. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's the name of the tour we chose this year, and it's promoting the new CDs that are coming out under the covers. So that's basically what it is.
Very exciting, and I understand that you were mentored by the famous Buddy Guy. You mentioned before you described yourself as just a community member helping to make sure this event is put on. Talk about those community members that are helping you out to make sure you all have this event each year.
We have a lot of great volunteers.
Toby Magruder is a 2-time national adult fiddle champion. Her music is where this story begins over 20 years ago at a mini mart.
She would come in the mornings to get a pop on her way to work, and I was going to ask her out the next time she came in because she was caught my eye, and so she never came in again.
But a chance meeting at Willie's Saloon where Chris was taking free dance lessons set these two on a path some may call fate.
I made sure I told him I was playing in a band the next Wednesday, so maybe I would see him again.
And they did. And after going on their very first date, 42 days later, they were engaged. 3 months later, they were married. But the marital bliss didn't last long.
I had a real fiery temper. He's really even keeled. I'm typically the one that fights.
11 years into the marriage, the two reached a breaking point, and like a sign from God, Chris learned their church would be offering marriage encounter. Toby and Chris were lost, but it was here at this church that they were able to reignite the flame they never thought they'd find.
So realizing that I loved him, right days after I met him, and I still loved him. Yeah. Our whole world is all about my happiness and what I need and what I get from people. That's what's important, and that's not what's important.
We left Sunday night holding hands, and it's been 12 years since then, and we're still holding hands. So.
Today, Chris and Toby say there are still arguments and things aren't perfect, but they're a stronger couple because of Marriage Encounter.
You have to stop asking yourself, how can I get them to be what I want? And start thinking, how can I be what they need?
For ABC5, I'm Emily Scarlett.